voices.
Welcome. This is January 28th, 2022, and this is our COGG Global Game Jam event. Speaking is Wesley Adams. I'm one of the admins at the Central Ohio Game Dev Group, or COGG. We're happy and super excited to get this event going. This is something we do every year and have a lot of fun with. So yeah, without further ado, I want to go ahead and switch over to us. We're actually streaming, obviously on YouTube, but through our Discord. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that over so you can see our faces. Hello.
Hey.
How's everybody doing? So we have our YouTube chat channel if you want to talk to us in there, and we also have our Discord as well. So we can post that in there if we need to. I wonder if one of you guys are able to do that while we're working away. But this is kind of our monumental event for our Central Ohio Game Dev Group, where we're part of this big international 48-hour. It's a little bit different this year, but 48-hour game dev or game jam event. So just to kind of let you, we'll talk more about the event, but just kind of give you a little bit of our background. So again, my name is Wesley Adams. I've been working with COGG for, I don't know, like over a decade, a long time. And we're excited to be here. I've actually worked with the local game studio, also with Tom as well, with Multivarious Games. And I've done a lot of things in terms of game design, 3D modeling, artwork, animation. My day job is actually e-learning, so it's kind of fun. I get to do a lot of different kind of interactive stuff and meet a lot of really cool people working with the Central Ohio Game Dev Group and local communities around Ohio, around the Midwest. So enough about me. Let me go hand it over to some of my other fine hosts. Let's start with you, Caleb.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Caleb Eno. I have been working with COGG for, I guess it's been a couple years. I think probably it was 2019 when I officially joined the admin staff or so. 2019 feels like a very, very, very long time ago. I'm my day job is I'm a professional game designer working for Digimancy Entertainment. And I love games, love Game Jam. Participated a couple years at the COGG hosted Global Game Jam, and have helped organize it the last couple as well. So much fun! Really excited. We've got a mix of new people and veterans, and that's kind of an ideal situation, honestly. So I'm really excited to see what all you're going to do this year. And I'll turn it over to Tom.
Hey. My name's Tom Allenbaugh, and I'm very delayed through the internet tubes, at least in my visuals. But I'm another COG admin, and I've been with COG since, being part of COG got Multivarious going and has pretty much kicked off my whole career up till now. And I still am tech lead at Multivarious, and I teach at the Columbus State Community College for their game development capstone as the programming instructor. So I really enjoy helping people, learn the creative process and learn how to work together and make cool games and stuff. So it's real fun. I'm glad to be here for yet another amazing COG jam.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, and just to kind of, some of you might actually be new this year. We actually talked to a couple of you all in the Discord voice channel before this. Just to kind of give you a little bit of a quick and nerdy synopsis of this is game jams in general are a great way if you're kind of interested in working with other people in games in general and just kind of create kind of like a non-judgmental and consequential game in a very short amount of time and allow you to learn new skills as well as collaborate with other veterans and or new folks as well in the game industry interested in getting into games and just make a really fun, cool project real quick and kind of share that with the world. There's a lot of them out there. Global Game Jam is not alone. We have been doing Global Game Jam for a while because they've been established, but there's plenty of them out there. And we're excited to do this one because it is international. So a lot of these, you'll see folks in Korea, in Australia and Brazil and China, everywhere, making a game based off, in this instance, the same theme. This year it is a technically potentially a 10-day event. We decided to go traditional. They actually made it from the 20th through the 30th. We wanted to do it today through Sunday, so the 28th through the 30th. So we're going to start here after this video, start forming teams, and we will start to you know look at the theme and objectively just see what we can make with that game. So us three especially will be here throughout the weekend to help you. So if you have any questions at all, if you're like, hey, how do I get started? The first thing tonight is just going to be design, mostly, and then forming teams. So a lot of that's going to be just kind of coordinating with like what's the game about, how do we play it, and that kind of stuff. And then I'll show you here in a sec with like a document that we're going to have that kind of showcases some of the resources you can start with. And the biggest thing I can say is just go simple and easy, and just think about what is the most viable product of your game, how to make that in just a very short amount of time. And the biggest thing is just have fun, because you don't know what you're going to learn, what you're going to have fun with, coordinating with other people, and maybe you learn a new skill set, and maybe there's an objective that you want to reach this weekend. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead.
Yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
I'll jump in on that, Wes. I think with a game jam, you have 48 hours, which is not very much time. It feels like a lot of time initially, but it quickly runs out. And there's lots that you can do with a game jam. So it might just be, I just want to see how far I can get in building a game. It might actually be, I feel like I have this particular skill set and I want to utilize it in games. And so you really focus on the skills that you know and try to contribute the most that you can to the skills that you know. That's pretty common. Or it might be, hey, this is a thing I've really never gotten an opportunity to just try before. And so it could be an opportunity for you to say, hey, never really done the art before. Maybe I can jump in and see how I could contribute on the art side. Or, hey, maybe there's this tool that I know about, or maybe there's some new feature in a game engine that I'm used to using, but I haven't used that new feature yet. And so what I want to do is focus on learning more about that feature and how to use it in a game. So there's lots of different ways that you could go about gaining something from this weekend. And it might just be, hey, I want to hang out with people who make games because I love making games and I love people who make games. And I just want to have a good weekend making a game together and have fun. That's also totally valid. So there's lots of different ways that you can go through this this weekend. So yeah, excited.
And just to kind of tail that real quick is you do not need game development experience if you want to participate. That's what we're here for. We actually have, I mean, with how long I've been here, and Tom and Caleb, we have enough resources we can help you all out. Our goal will be to partner you with folks who have some experience. That is the goal. I've already met a couple folks who've done this before and done this last year and a couple years before. So we're working to get that coordinated through, and then our goal is to kind of help you throughout the entire event. So don't worry about if like, hey, I've never done this before. We're gonna help you out. Yeah, cool. So let me go ahead and switch on over to our details event. Let's move over there. Cool. All right, for those of you who have seen this, this is where you registered. So if you are interested, I'm going to go ahead and post this in the chat. If you have not registered on our Global Game Jam website, please do. And if you want to participate, please do. We've got a couple in here. Wonder if we got a couple. Yeah. So this is actually where you're going to find all our information about what you need, kind of in the short term. And in here, towards the end of the event on Sunday, this is where you're going to go and actually submit your game. So when you're in here, this is where you want to kind of keep tabs on towards the end. That's why we're trying to get everybody in here, because we want to save as much time as possible so that you can go in and submit your game, as well as add your team members to that game, and be able to share that, because at the end on Sunday, we're actually going to do a live event again like this and play your games and just have some fun showing off what you made throughout the entire weekend. So you can find also more information on our COGG website, it's kind of reciprocal to what we already have here. So if you just need some more information, there's just some more information on our COGG website. If you're interested in our COGG website, it's thecogg.com. You'll find actually a lot of information about our group, information about our events, our team, code of conduct, and some contact information as well as other resources. So we're not alone by any means. There's a lot of different other game groups out there that are happy to like interact with you and talk with you about what does it mean to get into the game industry here in the Midwest in Ohio. So do check it out if you can. Check out the COG website. We're always evolving it and changing it, and you'll see our Discord channel at the top right corner there too. So definitely check out the Global Game Jam site. At the end of the event, you will actually be able to look at other people's games. So after the event, you can actually play a lot of other games from around the world. So definitely check that out. And then we also have our events details. So in Discord, there is a Global Game Jam README channel that has a lot of this information in here. And then this actual event details page is documented right there in that link too. So if you get a chance to definitely read through this, it at least has all the links and everything you need. So we kind of went over what is Global Game Jam a little bit, so I don't want to go over too much, but just know that we are starting today through Sunday. It says technically 7 p.m., but what we want to do is get everybody's game up on the server starting at 3 through 5 p.m. And what that allows us to do is make sure that your game is on the Global Game Jam server, and then allows us enough time to download those games, test them, make sure they work okay, and then be able to play those during the live stream at the end of the weekend. So definitely, we'll talk more about that here in a sec. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of a schedule so you guys can look at that. But at any given time, if you ever have any questions, obviously you can message us in Discord, or also email us at info@thecog.com, and that'll take us directly to my email as well as anybody else that's connected to that as well. So feel free to let us know there. There's a lot of really good information about like registering as a jammer. Obviously, we just talked about that. But we do require you to read and agree and abide by the Global Game Jam Code of Conduct. Basically, it just means if you take a look at it, it's basically just saying, hey, just be nice to each other. Don't make a hassle for folks, and obviously too, like if you're feeling like, okay, like this isn't working out for me, or I feel like there's some conflict here, just let us know. We're here to help. A lot of times we've had folks that are kind of like, this isn't really vibing well, or I feel like I'm not in the right position for this for one reason or another. Just let us know and we can work things out. We've done a lot of things in terms of like being able to just talk with different teams, or say if you want to move to a different team, or move resources around, we can definitely do that. So definitely check this out. This policy and code of conduct is and inclusiveness is very much a big structure of our event, as well it is with Global Game Jam. So please do read this, as we, by joining our event, will ask you to abide by these policies. So wanted to note that. We do note that if you're 18 or younger, you must be accompanied by a guardian throughout the weekend. That just basically means, like, to kind of save our butts, that if you're 18 or younger, or if you're under 18, just make sure that you have a parent or somebody that's with you at all times. So just kind of keep that in mind. So if you are, or whatever, you can feel free to talk to me later. We can kind of work it out, but just something that we're trying to do with our site for sure. But we also wanted to kind of do some stuff in terms of like what you should bring and use. We just kind of ask you to kind of keep track of your equipment. But things that you might need is really actually simple, since it is online. You really just need a computer, mouse, keyboard, all that good stuff. Laptop if you just need all something encompassing. Another thing that would be great is if you have paper, pens, markers, other materials for brainstorming things. If you're kind of like physical things, you can always use your streaming in the Discord channel. If you're like better at just writing on a whiteboard and showcasing it to folks, take a picture of it, upload it to Discord. We also have other resources if like you want to use a online whiteboard, like Google has a whiteboard. Everybody can kind of write on the same location and kind of brainstorm some stuff. We have some ideas that will help you all out throughout the weekend, especially today as we're doing game design stuff that you all can use too if you want to go more of a digital route. The other thing too is just make sure you have snacks and foods, plenty of water, please. Make sure that you are taking care of yourselves. Make sure that you are also, if you can, resting, right? So please do, if you need a rest, if you're kind of like fatigued or, you know, heaven forbid somebody's grouchy, right? Like it just happens, it's 48 hours of nonstop game development, and it can happen. Just tell your teammates like, hey, I just need to take a break for a little bit. I'll be back like in an hour or 2 hours, or if it's at the end of the day in 7 hours or something like that. Please do rest because you'll be surprised. Taking a quick rest can really help to unlock some new potential within your resources and your team. We're not forcing anybody to, but please do if you can. Obviously, make sure you shower and bathe as usual. It can help with a mental refresh. So if you just need to take a break, maybe that's something else you can do as well. And we also wanted to showcase some open source resources for you. So Global Game Jam, if you go to globalgamejam.org/jammer resources, there's a lot of resources there. So I'll kind of like showcase this page here. Actually, since I've got that up, feel free to check that out. And actually, specifically, I really like this Google Doc Jammer resources. So this is actually a free open resource that people have had, I don't know how many years, but there's tons of stuff. So if you're like, what kind of game engine should I use? What kind of tools should I use? Is it 3D, 2D, animation, assets? All kinds of good stuff. So I've mentioned some of the stuff before, and there's kind of like a short cheat sheet here that I kind of like to showcase every year just so that people can kind of see it. But yeah, definitely check this out. There's tons of stuff in here, and all of these are linked, so you can kind of jump from one resource to another. So once you kind of figure out what kind of game you want to make, it'll probably be good if you're not familiar with what kind of engine you want to use or what kind of tools you want to use to look in here real quick and just pick a couple of them that you might like. So definitely check that out. Like I said, there's some in here. And then I kind of wanted to showcase the weekend schedule. So you can click on this link. Let me double check that. Oh, yeah. Let's see if that works. Good, cool. All right, so this is kind of like of course. Let's see if this works now. It's still spinning. Let me know if you guys hear us. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, seems like it may have recovered.
Wait, I think the stream's back.
Yeah. Fun.
Yep, you're back. It's back. You're good.
Okay. All right, well, that was fun. All right, sorry about that, everybody. I don't know what happened. I think we just got disconnected for a half second, then it slowed everything down. All right, cool. So, as I was mentioning, here's our schedule. So we're in the intro and theme reveal. So that'll be from here till about 7. And then we're going to get into forming teams afterwards, as well as like social exercises. So there's like a lot of game design elements around 7. You can start gathering your ideas and pitches for your other teams. I guess that's supposed to be, I'd never noticed that. Was it misspelled? So pitches, there's project task management roles. So you might start to plan out what you want to do throughout the weekend. And then really towards the end of the night, you could even start prototyping. And if you don't, that's fine too. But the idea is that prototyping is like actually, okay, I kind of got an idea of what the game is going to start to be like. So now I'm going to start to make some of these mechanics, whether it's, going into Unity or Game Maker or whatever engine you're using, and just kind of throwing some things together to create some sort of interaction. So then that leads into Saturday. You could start at midnight, or you can like I said, sleep is good. So if you wanted to start in around 6 or 7, maybe a good time to start prototyping. Make sure you eat some breakfast. And then usually this little thing here, just kind of middle of the day on Saturday, usually it's not a deadline, official deadline, but we really want you to actually make sure you have your user profile up on the Global Game Jam website I would say about 90% of you do, so you're already good to go there. But then just continue prototyping. So we're going to prototype, prototype, prototype. And then this little cool thing here, this blue one, is our dev industry professionals reviewers. So we've had this year to year. Basically, we got at least two people, and then myself and Tom and Caleb potentially are going to be here to actually give you some feedback. So if you start prototyping stuff, that would be a good time from 3 p.m. till whenever towards the end of the evening. And we'll give you those times as people start to chime in what their availability is to actually go in and give you some professional feedback on your game and where we can talk about where your game can go and kind of finish up for the next day. So that's really good to have. If you guys can take some time during that evening on Saturday to give like even a half hour of just like, hey, here's my game. What do you guys think? What do you think in terms of scope and all that good stuff? And give it a chance to be seen in front of other people, so it's not just in a silo, so to speak. So you can kind of test each other games if you want to at that point, and then really after you get into that, like you can prototype a little bit more, but then towards the end of the night, it's production. So production is really where you're actually taking your game and you're like, here are the 12 things the game is about. This is what we need to build. We've already kind of got a prototype of it, and now we're just finishing it off. So throughout Saturday and through all of at least half of Sunday, you'll be going through production. So that's literally just getting the game done. So it kind of looks like, oh man, that's not a lot of time. So you're actually creating it and creating it and creating it. I wonder why. But you guys can hear me, right?
No, it cuts out for us too.
No, I mean, but you can hear me in Discord?
Right now I can.
I
Like,
turned my
am
camera
I...
off just in case.
Stream's
Maybe.
back. So, yep, stream's back.
Okay,
It's back up.
we are back. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, guys. We're almost done.
I bet it's my fault because I'm doing this nightmare like stream through solution, and it's
No,
probably
it's not on your end, Tom.
It's got to be mine, but I don't know. Anyways, let's go before it starts to crunch again. All right, so you're going to finalize your game on Sunday, and then we will ask everybody to start to try to upload your games around 3 o'clock. Okay. It says deadline is 3, but really you have up until 5. Yeah, I know. I got great internet. It's just some reason, I don't know. Anywho,
Can you get that stream back up?
the dev stream. What do you mean by that?
Oh, it's back. I'm watching you do an internet test.
Yeah. Okay, good. See, I've got good internet. I just don't know why. Anyways. Okay.
Internet be good, but reliability
Not all the time, apparently.
of ISPs.
I might have to
Never
reset
know.
my router. Okay, let's do this before it cuts out again. So, upload from 3 to 5 p.m. tomorrow, or a Sunday, excuse me, and then we'll do an ending ceremony showcase. All right, and that'll start at 6 p.m. Right here in the COGG YouTube channel, just as like you see here. And then we'll review your games and play them. So we'll have a lot of fun there. Enough schedule stuff. Let's go ahead and let me just make sure I haven't missed anything. Oh, the only thing I wanted to note as a side comment, because we'll stop after the stream, is wanted to let you know about a game expo called GDEX. I think I mentioned that before a little bit. Starts at June 8th through the 12th. So if you're interested, keep an eye out for that. That's another great one. And again, we're going to have a GDEX game jam about a week or two before that. So we'll keep you posted there and get you more information. This will be at the Greater Convention Center, so it is in person. We'll be partnering again this year with Origins Games Fair. And it's a lot of fun. It's got a bunch of different game folks there that will like showcase their games. So like exhibitors, we have board games there. We have digital games. So anything that's game related, we kind of have there. Lots of different workshops and tutorials. Lots of fun. So tickets coming soon. Definitely keep an eye on it. thegdex.com. Cool. Did a little shout out about that. And I think that's it. So what we're going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to go ahead and showcase the theme. And we'll do a little bit of tidbit on that. So without further ado, I'm going to go and switch over to that and mute ourselves. And then at the end of that video should be the theme reveal. And then after that, we'll tidy up and jump back into Discord. So we'll be right back.
Assuming that the internet stays stable.
I know, right? All right, we'll switch over to the video. Ready? 3, 2.
Audio test received.
The audio from the video is not coming through. And our audio is still coming through.
Hey Global Game Jam, I'm Will Goldstone from Unity, and I've been with Unity for a long time. Since 2011. That's maybe too long. Anyway, many things have changed in the games industry since then, but one thing that doesn't change, that's really, really cool, that I love, is that every year there's even more games to play made by many creators just like yourselves. At Unity, we believe the world is a better place with more creators in it, and the Global Game Jam offers creativity in its purest form. It's a time and a place where people can come together and make something real. New creators can learn to make their very first game, and experienced folks like many of you can learn a new skill or simply try out an idea that you haven't had time for before. If you choose Unity for your project, aside from our incredible community of people there to back you up, there's also our Discord server, where we have a dedicated channel full of resources to help you along with Global Game Jam. So enough waffle from me, go and make something that you love, because that's all that really matters.
Hi, I'm Kate Edwards. I'm the Executive Director of the Global Game Jam. And whether you're new to the Global Game Jam or you're a veteran of the event, I would like to welcome you aboard to Global Game Jam 2022. You know, it's been another year of ups and downs and starts and stops, but our collective passion for games and game creation has persisted because here we are once again ready to take part in the world's largest game creation event. And so, you know, every event has faced challenges during the pandemic. The Global Game Jam is certainly not alone in that. Like many other events, we've had to learn how to pivot and keep evolving and how we organize and how we deliver the event. But, you know, I'm frankly just super excited that we're here and that we're still able to do this in whatever format you happen to be in. You know, the Global Game Jam's mission is to empower individuals worldwide to learn, experiment, and create together through the medium of games. And to that end, I would love to thank and appreciate all of our sponsors who generously support this mission. And obviously, a huge thank you to our amazing volunteers whose talent makes Global Game Jam possible. The executive committee, the regional organizers, the site organizers, the streamers, everybody who lends a hand to help out, no matter if you're in a live site, a virtual site, a hybrid site, any of you who have volunteered any time whatsoever, thank you so much, because truly this wouldn't happen without you. And I think what's great about it is it represents the biggest power of Global Game Jam, which is about you, the community. So we are so glad that you're joining us. Whether you're at a live site or virtual or hybrid, whatever the format you're doing this year, thank you so much for choosing to be a part of this community. And thank you for supporting each other as we all hope for better times in 2023 and beyond. So I ask you to stay vigilant, stay safe. We hope you have a fantastic Global Game Jam, and we cannot wait to see the amazing games you're going to create this year. Thank you.
Hello, brave game jammer. I'm Tanya X Short, the captain of Kickoff Games. And I love jams because we can make whatever we want, right? We don't have to do market research. I don't have to pitch anybody, well, other than my collaborators. I don't have to have a budget. It's just me and these people I love working with, and we make whatever is exciting to us. You get into the flow of creative collaboration, and that's probably the best feeling when it works. So here it goes. My advice, solid advice, my tricks to winning the game jam in your heart. One, know what your goal is. Are you learning something new? Are you innovating? Are you making something really polished? Decide very explicitly before you start what kind of thing you want to do, like why you're doing this. And talk about it with your team if you have one. You know, sometimes I see myself as a brave warrior or a cutting edge scientist or an insightful artist. And really you're all of those things when you're game jamming, because you're doing something really brave. You're making something new and you're putting yourself out there, and you're doing it semi-publicly if you're with Global Game Jam. So good job on that. I highly, highly recommend that you follow the patented Tanya X Short Game Jam timeline. That I've used for many, many years, and it's very, very helpful, which helps with scope without doing too much, project management details. On day one, you and your team solidify what are you making, and you get the project and the version control all set up, and then, if you can, the stretch goal for the first day is to get that first little interaction working. Day two, you make the game playable from start to finish in a basic way. On day three, it's much easier to just have polish and bug fixing and maybe adding a little more content here and there, start menu, credits, sound effects, particle effects, that sort of thing. Oh, one more thing. I do find that I do my best work when I've slept well and I've eaten well. But I'm not going to judge you if you decide not to. I mean, each person has their own preferred workflow. Just please make sure you're not a jerk to your teammates or your loved ones or family. As a result, if you're taking it out on them is not cool. So, and keep in mind, if you overwork, you might feel resentful that other people don't overwork. So maybe it's just easiest to take it easy, get a lot of sleep, do your best work, but you're going to do what you do. The important thing is that I believe in you. I really do. I don't know you probably, but I'm always inspired seeing what people make for every game jam, but especially Global Game Jam. I love that it's across the world, and I love that everybody has their own experiences and their own inspirations. I hope you're proud of what you make, and that this act of creation teaches you something new about yourself. Look inside yourself and ask what you have to say. It's a new year, for better or worse, and it's a new jam, and we have a new opportunity to be joyful. So, good luck.
Hi, I'm Chase Bethia. I'm a professional freelance composer, technical audio designer for video games, and it's an honor to welcome you to the 2022 Global Game Jam. You may not realize it right now, but the jam you're about to take part in is about to change your life in some kind of good way even if you're a returning jammer. You don't have time to build the perfect game, but you do have time to experiment and test a lot. The game will tell you what it likes and what it doesn't. It has a pulse, a flow, a feel, rhythm. Game Jams is not about crunch. It's about learning your limits. Yes, you have a brief amount of time to make something, but you only put the pressure you have upon yourself. You should be entering the jam with the goal of making a fun experience with friends in hopes other friends will enjoy. It's okay to be competitive, but there is a line. This isn't the time to learn about how to burn out, but to practice pacing, strengthen communication and critical listening skills, and quality assurance with assets for context. This is where you learn so many things. If you're thinking about making game development a career, you can take this opportunity to see what goes into making one. At the end of the jam, you'll be able to assess if you wish to pursue it or have it be a hobby. Game jams should be perceived to build the best starting point. Create to play. And if you get more done or even finish the game your team set out to make, then that's icing on the cake. Game jams make opportunities. Over the years, we've seen so many successful game titles that were born from Global Game Jam, such as Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, and How to Do It, and more. Some games have spawned successful gaming studios. Those studios have created jobs for people that want to get their start in the gaming industry, earn a living, build a career, and do what they love to do, make games. I owe most of my career to game jams. If it wasn't for these, I would have struggled a lot more to get a portfolio started and even get work in the industry. I still game jam to this day because it's the best way to tap into my childhood creativity. Remember, to keep the fun alive, keep your mind open and ideas will flow naturally. Lose yourself in the jam. Be kind, stay hydrated and rested. Make stuff. Doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to get started. And once it does, it'll have a pulse, a rhythm, and a flow. And off you go. Have a great jam session.
Hi everyone, my name is Elaine Gomez. I am a game designer at Brass Lion Entertainment, which is a studio focused on creating worlds that center on Black, brown, and other marginalized characters, cultures, and stories. I'm also proud to be one of the 6 co-founders of Latinx in Gaming and give developer-related support to the organization's many activations. I really wanted to share my short message with you all without reading my notes, but I don't want to screw it up, so please pardon me as I read along. I've had the privilege to be able to build my career around things that I stand up for and I'm passionate about. I'm so honored to have a few minutes to share a short message with you, and I want to thank Tim Collins and the Global Game Jam team for giving me this opportunity. I thought quite long and hard about what to share. There are so many things to touch on, like not overscoping, not forgetting to eat and staying hydrated, stepping away from the computer and getting moving, or not burning yourself out and taking care of your mental health. But instead of telling you things you shouldn't do, I wanted to focus on something I think you should do, and that is to grow. Challenging yourself in a way to make this Global Game Jam an experience to look back on and to be proud of something that you were able to accomplish that you normally wouldn't be able to do. Growing can take many forms, and it is especially does not mean perfection. If you take on something that you've always wanted to learn or wanted to do, and it's your first time doing it, cut yourself some slack. Give yourself some grace. There's room for failure because failing is not a bad thing. Your art may not be beautiful, your scripting may not be clean, your designs may not be super polished, but it's functional, and that is something to be excited about. This is one of the things that I love about designing in game jams. You have limitations, and finding ways to use them to your advantage can really make for interesting problem solving. And growing doesn't just apply to development, it also applies to social skills. It can be uncomfortable to work with people you don't know and working on a team with several people when you're used to working on your own. Find something that works for you and that is best for you, but use the internet to your advantage to make communication easier. I encourage y'all to create something you've never made before, something out of your comfort zone. If it's a new genre, a type of mechanic that you normally wouldn't, type of story that you have not been able to tell, go for it. Maybe you'll be surprised to find something new to enjoy about making games. What I'm saying may sound like cliche, happy-go-lucky message, but the reality is that growing is difficult. It's not comfortable. You will get frustrated, and sometimes the thing that you're trying to make is just not going to work for the time that you have. If you catch yourself spending too much time on something, take a step back, regroup, and find an alternative that will work for you and your team. Good luck, have fun, and enjoy this year's Global Game Jam. Bye!
All right. What if I timed
All
that well?
right.
What do you guys think? Duality is our year's theme. It's actually kind of funny. We got into like a little bit of a tangent while that whole video was going about all kinds of dev stuff. So it was kind of fun. Talking about
Put two
Unreal
developers
and
in a room
Unity.
together, and what do they do? They talk about development.
So this will be a fun weekend. So I'm excited about the theme. I think that's really cool. They always do a really good job, I think, picking different kind of interesting themes to go on. So Duality, honestly, that theme for your game this year can be honestly kind of interpreted any way you want to. If you want it to be an acronym for several words, you could do that. If you want it to be this or that, if you want it to be two things, if you want it to be on or off, light and dark, smooth and rigid, whatever you want to do. I mean, those are opposites. They don't even have to be opposites. It could be about twins. It could be about the number two. It could be about pairings. It could be about pears, the fruit. I don't know. Whatever you want to
Pears,
interpret it as,
fruit.
go for it. And that's the cool thing, is because a lot of people are like, oh, like, I wanted to work on this idea or this skill set and learn something or whatever. But I think if you take the time to actually go in and think about what kind of game you want to make, you could kind of form that to your advantage of like how you want this to come out for you. Because a lot of folks even especially for this year, we'll kind of come to the table and say, what can I do to kind of learn more coding or learn some 2D or 3D animation or music or whatever it is, or design skills. You can still form that. So definitely take that for however you want to evolve it and move through it. So what we're going to go ahead and do now that we have the theme, you have right now into Sunday at 5 being the cutoff, to design your game and upload it to the Global Game Jam website. So after this call, this video, this stream, we're actually going to jump back into the Discord, and I gave you 2 links to our Discord channel in the YouTube channel. So jump into the text and or voice channels there. And what we're going to do is organically start to form your teams. If you already have a team, that's A-OK. What we would suggest is to have, if you can do teams, obviously, like you can also do it yourself, but we would ask you to try to do teams if you can. That's kind of what makes this event so great, is you can work with other people. But if not, just let us know. We'll kind of work things out. You can also be like a resource that you can float between teams. So if you may not have availability throughout the entire weekend, we've had that in the past where if you're like a musician and you want to make music for all kinds of teammates, you could do that too. And then just let us know. We're kind of flexible. Like we can kind of mold this to your advantage. So just let us know, and we've done it, pretty much done it all before, and we're happy to kind of move through. So you're going to have your channels in Discord that will be dedicated to your team. You'll have a text channel and a voice channel. So text channel to add any resources you want to, a voice channel to stream and to talk throughout the days coming up. And then that'll be where you start to actually brainstorm your game concepts. So what we're going to do, and we'll explain it a little bit more once we get into Discord, is we'll kind of identify if you have a team already. If you already have a team, we'll start to set you up into a separate channel. If you need a resource, let us know too. Like say if you need an artist, or if you need a musician, or if you need a designer, let us know, and we'll get that rocking and rolling too. And then what we'll do is for people who don't have a team and just kind of want to work with other people, we'll ask you what your role is, and usually that's creative, a technical, or a designer. So if you don't have any game development skills, you'll kind of fall into the designer skill, meaning you can provide a lot of different skill sets in terms of planning, in terms of game design mechanics, just kind of thinking of what kind of game you want to make, and then even evolve those to other skill sets later that you might want to or need to learn. Maybe they need someone just to draw out a couple sprites, or they need someone to learn how to code a feature or make music or sound effects. So we'll talk about that too. And what we're going to do is try to get between 3 to I say no more than 7 people in a team. If you have more or less, that doesn't mean you can't do that. Just a little bit easier to manage. And then we'll try to make sure that they have one of at least 3 of those things in each team. That way you have the skill sets and abilities to kind of push the team forward. And then we'll have someone that kind of in that team to be able to kind of lead the conversations. So think about that too if you are interested in like helping to lead some of the conversations. Not saying you can't like change roles out and have people kind of lead different parts of the pipeline too, but that's kind of what's normal in a team forming situation. So we'll talk more about that here in a few minutes. So what I would do is there's the 2 links in the YouTube channel. They're also in the Global Game Jam public chat channel. Caleb, Tom, and I are going to actually go in and help everybody kind of get coordinated, and we'll actually bring you into your new team channels. So I guess that does it for us. Thanks for everybody coming in. Any last comments from you, Tom or Caleb?
No, I'm looking forward to seeing this theme come to life.
This is one of the best themes I've seen. This is really good.
I know. I told you it was really good. I'm really excited about
really
it.
Good.
So cool. All right. So let's have some fun. We're gonna have a bit of a race to kind of get through this initial setup, but after this, it's gonna be just lots of fun of like creating and designing and brainstorming some cool stuff. So I'm excited to see what everybody has to make. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and sign off for the night on our stream and catch you back in Discord. So thanks everybody for stopping by. We'll see you in a little bit, and we'll catch back up again on Sunday. So thanks everybody. Talk to you in a
Bye.
few.
Later.